Welcome, friends and family. I'm excited to be here with you today as we continue to go through one of the best books of all time, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is a very relational book. This is a book that helps us learn how to be winsome and how to work well with people and try to help people move from point A to point B. You know, I had a friend of mine a long time ago, David Wright, explained to me, he said, Elijah, do you know where the word coach originated? And David Wright is the head coach for the Ziegler organization in Dallas. And I said, no, sir, David. I said, really don't know where that word originated. He said, well, in Switzerland with the Alps, there they had to build the strongest coaches so that they could take the people from where they were to where they wanted to be. Wagons, coaches, you know, that's what the Old West, they used to call them wagons, but they're coaches. And it was what horses would strap up to, and they would take these people through the Swiss Alps to get them from where they are to where they want to be. So if you really have a desire to be people perfect, to be the best people person that you can be, and to work well, you have a desire, a passion to work well with others, then I would highly recommend How to Win Friends and Influence People. This book gets that job done, and it really makes it a whole lot more of a simpler process. So if you're like me, maybe you're a little rough around the edges and you want to polish that up some, this is that book. Today, we are reading out of chapter 7. It's called Give a Dog a Good Name. And the philosophy around this is, here is something that Shakespeare once said. In short, if you want to improve a person in a certain respect, act as though that particular trait were already one of his or her outstanding characteristics, Shakespeare said. Assume a virtue if you have it not, and it might be well to assume a state openly that the other people have the virtue that you want them to develop. So, you know, example, maybe you've got a kid that at times can be just a little lazy. Maybe they don't pick up after themselves, or don't clean up their room, or do those little things. So the approach to that would be, you know, Jenny, you do such a great job. Every time I walk into your room, it always looks so good. I know that you take such pride in yourself, and you must really care about yourself and your surroundings, because, man, your room always looks so good. And that child may be sitting there thinking, really? Me? But it esteems them. And with that esteem, they go on and they do great things. John Maxwell is a great author, a great leadership trainer, coach, and probably wrote over 100 books. And I always follow John Maxwell, really love his material. And Mark Cole is somebody he has mentored that oversees 7 of his businesses that really he will pass the baton to. But one thing, when I watched John Maxwell and Mark Cole speak one time, Mark said that John's always believed in him more than he even believed in himself. So John could challenge him to go out and do things that perhaps Mark didn't feel like he had the confidence or the skill to be able to do. But John knew that he could do it because John could see it. And he pulled it out of him and challenged him to go do it. So who do you know that today may be struggling in an area, but you know that's not really them, that there's inside of them, there's something greater, something better. And you want to help them get from where they're at to where they want to go. Like one of those great coaches in Switzerland, to get them through the mountains, to get them over some hills, some tough places. Who do you know? What are they struggling with? And how can you affirm them to help them overcome that issue? How about this one? Gosh, you're always so selfless. I always see you caring so much about other people. You go so far out of your way to help others. Versus, man, you never do anything for anybody. You're just so lazy. You just lay around all the time. Which one do you think has the potential to help them move from where they're at to where they should be and where they could be, and where maybe it's best for you and them that they're at? So we just encourage you today to be that, to be an encourager, to see the best in people. John Maxwell always said that he put a 10 on people's foreheads. So when he first met them, they had a 10. It wasn't that he put a 7 on them, or I don't know this guy or girl. Maybe they're a 6, maybe they're a 7, I don't know. He didn't start there. He started with a 10. And he said that he let you take it lower if that was necessary. But he always put a 10 on everybody's head. How about that for a challenge this week? As we go about our day with our children, with our family, with our team members, at our workplaces, at our churches, within our communities, let's put 10s on people's heads. Sometimes we let those numbers drop because it's easier just to avoid or to stay away from, instead of saying, you know what, I see this person struggling in this area right now, maybe, but I know they could be, and I know what you could do. So I'm going to give you a 10 and just believe in you and see if that belief doesn't move you from where you are to where you want to be. Hope you all have a great week. Hope this adds some value to you. Have a wonderful week. Thank you.